Look, we need to talk about something that's quietly happening right now inside corporate offices across India. It's an uncomfortable reality, but it's a completely necessary truth about the future of Indian IT. We're looking at a fundamental shift here, one that literally threatens to dismantle the traditional paths to success that millions of us have relied upon for decades. Think about the standard Indian tech dream. A software engineer in Bangalore spends 8 grueling years learning coding. They navigate the brutal interviews, work the late nights, and finally, they reach a 25 lakh rupee salary. It's the ultimate middle-class milestone, right? And then, one day, an AI system starts doing parts of his exact job in seconds. This completely shatters the illusion of safety we've built around the tech sector. And look, this isn't some distant theory. This isn't the year 2035. This is happening right now. Heavyweights like OpenAI, Anthropic, Google, and Microsoft have completely shifted gears. We really need to be perfectly clear about what's actually happening here. They are no longer just building simple chatbots. They're building AI employees. We're talking about autonomous AI agents that can debug code, write APIs, generate complex documentation, and test applications. These agents are stepping in and taking over the exact execution tasks that literally form the backbone of Indian IT. You see, for years, AI tools were essentially just digital assistants. You asked a model one question at a time, and it gave you one answer. But that era, it's over. We've officially entered the era of multi-step execution. AI has evolved from a basic assistant into an agent that's genuinely capable of acting autonomously. Let me show you how an agentic workflow actually operates in reality. Imagine an engineer gives just a single prompt. Fix this bug, test the code, and update the documentation. That's it. The AI then independently inspects the codebase, identifies the specific issue, generates the fixes, runs the necessary tests, and prepares the final output. It executes the entire workflow, all on its own. Now, this exposes a massive, glaring vulnerability. Because for 30 years, India essentially sold human intelligence at scale. Think about it. The massive revenue of the entire Indian outsourcing model is built on one core thing: execution. Not innovation, not product ownership, just repetitive, reliable execution. And execution? Well, that's the exact thing AI is mastering right now. So, because of this, global clients are starting to ask a very, very dangerous question. Why do we actually need these massive teams? Just let that sink in. This single question threatens the economic foundation of entire cities built on tech. Places like Hyderabad, Pune, and Bengaluru. Millions of jobs, monthly EMIs, apartment loans, and school fees, they are all intricately tied to the old answer to that question. Because if AI can automate, say, 30 to 50% of repetitive software work, what happens to those massive, sprawling teams? That is a staggering percentage of work that suddenly doesn't require a human sitting at a desk for 9 hours a day. Global companies are aggressively pushing AI internally right now simply because this new productivity is highly, highly measurable. And this brings us straight to the new economics of speed. The measurable productivity from just one single AI-assisted engineer is now outperforming entire traditional teams. This makes smaller, leaner teams highly viable today, which instantly shrinks those traditional support and documentation roles. Again, this isn't a warning for the distant future. This is the reality today. Which brings us to a very uncomfortable topic. Why did companies historically pay a 25 lakh rupee salary for mid-level engineers? Well, they paid for accumulated domain knowledge, debugging ability, and years of workflow experience. In the past, human experience created speed. But today, AI creates speed. AI is quite literally compressing years of execution knowledge into software. This creates an undeniably terrifying situation. Companies are quietly beginning to separate their employees into two distinct groups. Group 1, those who actively multiply their productivity using AI, and Group 2, those who insist on stubbornly doing traditional manual workflows. And I really want you to ask yourself, which of these two groups do you think management is going to keep when the financial pressure hits? Because the truth is, the smartest engineers out there, they are already secretly using AI. They're using it to clear JIRA tickets, run tests, explain complex code, and draft client summaries. They are finishing days of work in mere hours. And make absolutely no mistake, management is definitely noticing this huge difference in output. But this creates an absolute crisis at the bottom of the corporate ladder. If AI performs beginner-level bugs and routine support tickets cheaper and way faster, how do freshers gain experience? Historically, freshers learn the ropes through this repetitive work. Now, AI is automating those exact entry-level tasks first. So if you're a student or a fresher right now, please listen closely. You have studied for a world that is rapidly disappearing. The old market rewarded a degree-only mindset, but this new market, it demands AI leverage, deep problem-solving skills, and incredible speed. Companies are hiring fewer people, but they're demanding significantly higher AI-assisted productivity. But look, this explainer isn't just about fear. It's really about understanding the transition. Because AI won't displace everyone equally. A massive new advantage goes to those who adapt into what we call the AI-augmented professional, a worker who combines deep domain expertise with AI leverage to produce truly superhuman output. Just consider the new landscape for a moment. Take a banking expert, a cybersecurity analyst, or a project manager. When they are paired with AI leverage, their output absolutely multiplies. Managing AI effectively is the real future skill. If you understand the core business context and use AI to execute the heavy technical work, you become incredibly difficult to replace. So the crucial mindset shift that you need to make today is this. The winners of the next decade won't necessarily be the best manual coders. Instead, the market is going to aggressively reward the best AI operators, the people who actually know how to instruct, guide, and manage these AI systems to do the heavy lifting for them. Treating AI as just a hype cycle is an incredibly dangerous mindset right now. You need to start adapting immediately. You must learn agentic AI workflows and really master prompt engineering. Start practicing AI-assisted coding every single day, build out your own productivity systems, and please stop relying solely on your college degree. I want to be perfectly clear about what is happening in the industry right now. AI is not replacing everyone equally. But Indian professionals who ignore AI may become economically vulnerable. If you are an Indian professional, engineer, student, manager, or fresher, you cannot afford to ignore this shift anymore. Subscribe now, because the next 3 years may completely reshape Indian careers. And comment AI below if you want me to make a detailed video showing exactly how Indian professionals are secretly using AI tools inside real workflows today. The era of being paid simply to execute is ending. The question is, what are you going to be paid for tomorrow?